Hello and be most welcome to DK Studio Podcast. I'm host Nyanto, most known as Teacher Black, and on today's episode we'll be talking about English idioms. Wow, what is an English idiom? English idiom is a group of words whose meaning is different from the meaning of the individual words. English idioms do not mean what they look. Let's just see an example. Okay, here we go. Let the cat out of the bag. Let me repeat it again. Let the cat out of the bag. What's that? It's like I've got a bag here and with cats inside of it. No. That does not mean that, okay? This is an English idiom and it means to reveal or to let or to tell a secret by a mistake. When someone says, okay, oh, I'm sorry, I've just left the cats out of the bag. It means that I've just told a secret, okay, by a mistake, you see. So it doesn't actually mean to let the cat as such as you just see the animal cat inside of a bag and then you just let it go in, escaping from you. No. Okay, so that is a clear example of an English idiom. So before you get started, okay, we just go too deep in our today's lesson, make sure you get your headphones and you just stay somewhere quiet, okay? I like to advise my students to be somewhere quiet for better understanding. And if you are a user of any software such as Android or maybe Memorize, just remember to add these English idioms that you will learn today to keep practicing them or just write them on your notebook. Okay, so that you can just find them whenever you want. And remember to try to use them whenever it's possible. Let's get started to our first example, okay? The first example is this one. The first idiom that we will learn today is, okay, I'll just give you a simple sentence, then I'll explain you the idiom by itself. The word is on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember it at this moment, okay? But I'm sure I will soon. The word is on the tip of my tongue. So the idiom here is on the tip of my tongue. What's the meaning of the word being on the tip of your tongue? Okay? If a word or maybe a name is on the tip of your tongue, okay, you mean that you are sure, okay? You are sure that you know something, but you can't remember it by the time that you need to use it. And it's really painful, okay, to have something on the tip of your tongue because you are sure that you know that thing, but you can't remember by the time that you need. That's why in our example we have the word is on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it at this moment, but I'm sure I will soon, okay? I'm sure I will remember it soon, okay? So that's our first idiom. Let's go to our second idiom. Our second idiom, okay? We just find the sentence here. I think we're talking at cross purposes. Wow. The English idiom here is cross purposes. What is that? Cross purposes. If two people are at cross purposes, they do not understand each other. Okay? Because they're talking about, or maybe they're aiming at different things without realizing it. Okay? So it's really complicated to be at a cross purposes. Okay? So they're talking, okay, I think we're talking at a cross purposes. I was asking you about your family, but, okay, you are telling me about mine, you see. So those people were at a cross purposes. Okay, so try to write sentences in the commentaries using these idioms. Okay, I'll check them and I'll just give my feedback there. All right, so that's our second idiom, cross purposes. Let's go to our third example, okay? Our third English idiom for our today's lesson, okay? I can't get my head around this definition. It's too complicated and I can't understand it. You see? So the idiom here is to get my head around this definition. I can't get my head around this definition. What is that? To get your head around something or around something, that is to be able to understand or to accept something. So if you can't get your head around something, it means that you can't understand it. Okay? Maybe it's difficult to understand. It's too complicated for you to understand. All right? Just write a sentence using the get your head around something. Just tell me what you can't get your head around it, okay? The next one, which is our fourth example of our idiom in this episode, is I just can't get my tongue around this word. I just can't get my tongue around this word. And that happens very often when we are learning new words, okay? So what is that? To get your tongue around something or around a certain word means that to pronounce a difficult word correctly. So you can't pronounce a difficult word correctly, okay? It's really hard for me to pronounce it. It's an example, right? So I can't just get my tongue around this word. That is our today's, okay, idiom. That's our today's idiom. Okay, so let's go to our last example. This lesson will be too short, right? So our last example, okay, our last idiom which I've prepared for this podcast is I'm terribly sorry. I got the wrong end of the stick. I got the wrong end of the stick. Yeah, that's it. To get or to hold the wrong end of the stick, okay, is to understand something in a wrong way. You can get the wrong end of the stick. So try to pay much attention in order not to get the wrong end of the stick. When you say, okay, for example, when you said lunch on Saturday, I thought you meant this Saturday, not next Saturday. You see, when you said lunch on Saturday, okay, I thought you meant this Saturday, not next Saturday. So this person here, okay, just got, okay, the wrong end of the stick, okay? Remember to write the examples. If you're just listening to this podcast through YouTube, just write the examples on the commentaries. I'll just check the examples and then I'll give my feedback. And remember to keep practicing these idioms, all right? So thank you very much for listening to this podcast up to the end. If you found it useful and interesting, just share it, okay? Just share it to a friend who is also learning English as well. And if you haven't done so, just subscribe yourself on our channel so that you won't miss the next episodes. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you next episodes.